Applying to use animals in your classroom at a Category 3? Follow this guide to ensure you include all details necessary to give your application the best chance of success and get your project started. If you are unsure whether you need to fill out an application, please refer to the provided flowchart and table. These will allow you to assess your project and decide if an application will be required. This video will explain Part 1, Background Information, Part 7, Reporting Obligations, and Part 8, the Declaration of your application. Before we look at Part 1 of the application, there are a few things you must keep in mind throughout the project. Alongside this application, you will be required to submit an animal welfare monitoring form which will allow you to monitor the well-being of your animal for the duration of your project. The VSAEC provides a copy of this form, which you should adapt to best suit the requirements of your animal. If you intend to make any changes to your project after it has been approved, you must apply for an amendment. Do not implement any changes before this has been approved by the VSAEC. This includes staffing, animal numbers, and timeline of the project. At the end of your project, you must submit a completion advice form, and this must be submitted within 1 month of the end date outlined in your application. If your project will take over a year to complete, you must submit an annual report within a month of the end of the year. Finally, in the event of an injury, illness, or death of an animal, you must submit an adverse event report to the VSAEC via the approval and reporting system within 5 working days of the event occurring. Any supporting documents such as veterinary certificates or post-mortem reports should be attached. All reports are located at the Record Keeping and Completion Advice link on the VSAEC website. Finally, in submitting your application, you must fill out Part 8, a declaration which requires you to acknowledge that you understand the responsibilities of animal care and the practices the VSAEC expects you to uphold. All boxes must be ticked for your application to be submitted, and the principal of the school must be aware of the proposed project and approve it. What is the name of your project? For example, measuring the tail length of growing juvenile mice over 4 weeks. All details of your school should be current and accurate. This includes specifying whether you are a primary or secondary school, providing the school and principal's contact information. Your principal needs to be informed of your project, so it is expected that you have discussed and been given the approval of the principal for the project. This is especially important since you sign in the declaration that the principal is informed. Which staff members will be involved in the project? What will be their responsibility? Do they hold a specific position? For example, are they a leading science teacher, a year level coordinator, or a laboratory technician? What experience do these staff members bring to the project that will add value to their involvement? Maybe they have animal handling training or experience in working with animals. Will you be using a reptile, a rodent? What is the scientific name? For a lop rabbit, this is Oryctolagus caniculus, and the common name is lop rabbit. Will you be using one or multiple animals? You need to specify the ages and sexes of each animal as well. Please specify the number of males versus females. How often will your project require the active interaction with animals by students? Please note that this does not include cleaning and feeding the animals. How long will project interactions last? Will activities require interaction for seconds, minutes, or hours? Maybe you want to include multiple species. If so, please fill out the details for all species in the box and again make sure the correct names, ages, sexes, and interaction information is included. What will you be using the animals to do? Your answer should clearly outline the processes in your project that will require the use of animals and why. Make sure your responses can be followed by someone who does not know anything about your project. You need to provide the links from the Victorian curriculum that correspond to the year-level learning outcomes that will be achieved in using animals in the classroom. What year levels will be participating in this project? Please explain how your proposed project will assist students in achieving these outcomes in a way that cannot be achieved in the classroom independent of animal use. Which skills do students stand to gain in this project? What tasks in your project will allow these skills to be developed? Dates should be written in the day, month, year format. To understand how animals fit into your school, we need to hear about your plan from the complete beginning to the end. How will the animals be obtained? What preparation do you have to ensure that they will be in a suitable environment for the duration of the project? What dates and times will the animals be used, and what tasks will take place on these days? When will the animals be fed and cleaned? Will they remain at the school overnight, or will a staff member take the animals home each day? What happens to the animals at the end of the project? Have you arranged for them to be rehomed? Please feel free to attach documents that will help communicate your project plan. If you need any more clarity in how to answer any of these questions, you can email the VSAEC at animalethics@education.vic.gov.au.